I just got out of the new A24 horror film Bring Her Back, directed by the Philippou brothers who did Talk to Me, Australian brothers. This is an Australian film. Stars Sally Hawkins, is probably the most known film, maybe the only really known person in this film. And wow, was this intense. Wow, was this disturbing. That's what I like in a horror film. I don't like jump scares. I don't like the twitchy crap. I don't like the shaky cam. I don't like the found footage, though this film has a little of all of that. I like a film that's disturbing, that's unsettling, that makes you want to look away from the screen, that gives you the creeps, that sticks with you when it's over. And Bring Her Back is one of those. Don't want to tell you much of the story because, as you know, I don't ever want to give spoilers, and I feel like every film plays way better if you really don't know what you're going to get going in. And I know that's unusual because most people who are going to plop down 10, 15, 20 or more dollars to see a film kind of want to have an idea what they're going to get. But let's just say it's a very creepy, slow burn horror film where everything seems sort of okay at the beginning and progressively less okay as it goes along. Basic story, I'm not going to tell you the whole story. Basic story is a little something like this. Recently orphaned brother and stepsister, sister and stepbrother. Stepbrother slightly older, stepsister slightly younger, obviously, and has vision, partial vision. She can see shapes, but she can't really see to get around very well without feeling around and can't really recognize faces and things like that. Their father dies in an accident, and they are sent into foster care. Initially, they're going to be, I'm not going to tell you the whole story. Initially, they're going to be split up, but they want to stay together. The brother is almost 18. 3 months, he's 18. He can take custody of the sister, and they can live a life where he continues to look out for her and protect her. They are placed with Sally Hawkins, a woman who has one young foster child who is mute, young boy who's mute and acts strangely, is troubled, as they say, and a daughter who has passed away in the recent past, and she was also blind or partially sighted. So little weird, little creepy. She has a stuffed dog. She has kept her daughter's room the way it was when her daughter passed away and gives it to this new sightless female child who she vows to take care of. Didn't initially want to take the brother because he had a troubled past, and let's see if they all can move forward together and have, I'm not giving you any kind of explanation here that makes you want to see this film. Let's see if they can go off together and have a happy family with no problems whatsoever. But being this is a horror film, being this is an A24 horror film, being that this is from the makers of Talk to Me, let's say things don't go smoothly. Let's say things are very strange, and there's something very unusual about that little boy who doesn't talk. And why doesn't he talk? And why does he act that way? And why does his behavior get progressively more disturbing? And why does the mother keep watching these old videotapes? Yes, videotape plays a component in this film. Why is she watching these old videotapes that don't seem to make sense, that we get a flash of really strange and disturbing imagery at the beginning of the film that comes into play later? All is revealed by the end of the film, and it gets really gory at times. It gets very scary at times. It gets very disturbing at times. Yes, there are bursts of violence. Yes, there are bursts of weird things, but it doesn't do what most films, modern horror films, do that I don't like. It does have the crutch of the old videotape, which really doesn't make a lot of sense in this day and age that a woman would be using a technology that's been pretty much gone for 25 years or so in order to learn something. It seems more like she would have this, online somewhere, and that at one point the videotape might not have really obvious subtitles. Like, she obviously bought this somewhere. Somebody subtitled this really weird underground videotape that gave her explicit instructions, or gave the audience, let's say, explicit information that explains what's going on. That was a little bit of a crutch, and some of the camera work ain't great, but I took that as to do the modern filmmaking, the modern horror thing of, if somebody is blind, the audience needs to not be able to see anything to know that they're blind, instead of just having a character go like this and we understand they can't see something. The film doesn't really rely too heavily on that, but it does do that at times. So again, I'm not going to say too much. The girl whose name, I'm so sorry, her last name is Wong, first name I'm losing, who played the young partially sighted girl, was very charming and very compelling in the film. Everybody in this movie is really good. I think because you don't know many of the characters other than Sally Hawkins Hawkins, who's in the Paddington films and was in The Shape of Water and a bunch of other things. Other than not knowing her, these people just are the characters. You don't bring any baggage to the, unless you've seen them in maybe other things they've done in Australia. They don't bring any baggage to the story. It's a very small cast too, very small cast, and basically one location for the film. I like that better when you don't know the people in the film, because you don't see them as, oh, I'm thinking of them in another story. Oh, this is an actor playing this role. It's just like, as far as I'm concerned, you're telling me this is this person, this is this person. So very disturbing, very good. Bold statement, the horror movie of the year. For me, I would say Sinners was really good, but I think this is a lot better just in terms of a straight horror movie. Go in as blind as you can. Go in knowing it's very disturbing and troubling and gruesome. And this is called Bring Her Back.